Hello. It's been 3 days since I switched to my dumb phone, and I just wanted to give an update. There's definitely been an increase in efficiency, um, more memories made with my family because I'm able to be more fully present for most of the time. There was a moment where I had to switch back to collect someone's phone number to access my banking, find a few passwords that I'd forgotten to transfer. So there was a few minutes of switch, and it felt like a relief to get away from it again, switch the SIM back, and start back on my dumb phone. I also had a really enjoyable experience doing my doing a birthday invite on the computer instead of on my phone and sending that out to people and communicating with their responses. So a few things that I used to just do on my phone on the go were done sitting at the computer, and it was an enjoyable experience. It was very different. Um, the other thing I wanted to share was I've definitely feel like I'm getting more things done, but it's worth noting that not it's not because I'm rushing or multitasking. It's because I have more space in my thoughts. My thoughts are more my own. And that's been just a wonderful reminder of how good it was last time I quit my smartphone, and I'm looking forward to it continuing. So, what I wanted to share with you today was something that I wrote a while ago when I was thinking about how long it took me to leave Facebook. I probably joined Facebook in 2008, which was late compared to my friends. But boy, have I given Facebook a fair few months of my life, all up really with the time I've spent there. Um, and to leave it, I only left it last year, 2024. It took a long time because I felt like I was leaving the people there. I felt like I was letting them down, not keeping them updated with my life. And I felt like it was a real place of familiarity for me. And living so far away from friends and family, it gave me this feeling of connection. But once it left, because a lot of the people have moved on with their lives, there was nothing, no connect. The connection didn't really change. The connection is still the same. There's just not this entity between us. And I'm at peace with that. I wanted to just share something I wrote about Facebook. I guess it's a poem of sorts. So I'll just read what I wrote here. I've lived on Facebook and lived off. This also applies to social media where anywhere there is a comment section. I guess it also applies to news websites and blogs, anywhere where there's an option for the reader to contribute live and publicly. So this poem is going to be about a land of just utter beauty. I guess these are my notes about the poem that I'm yet to write, so I'll just share it with you. So imagine a place of utter beauty. There's valleys and mountains, there's waterfalls and deserts, there's springs and oceans. There's waterfalls, waterfront beaches, there's lakes, rivers, fields of flowers, giant trees, and just utter perfect weather. You can live anywhere, you can sleep anywhere, you can adventure anywhere. It's basically paradise. I want to talk about a people, a number of different villages, and the people who, instead of enjoying this land, spend their time going to one building. And I think this building is a cement, grey, Colosseum looking, circular, ugly building, like a brutalist architecture. It's like an open air cinema, like the Colosseum of sorts. And they keep going there. No one makes them go, but they all keep going there from their different areas of where they live. Right in the middle of the Colosseum is a number of microphones. And so the Colosseum then blasts out whatever is said in those microphones into the Colosseum and just outside the walls. So people are outside and inside the Colosseum. And the concept is that these people can just go and be so happy anywhere for this land that has been provided for them, but they come to this place and they do it with urgency. They do it feeling that it's important, and they feel that all eyes are on them as they walk up to the microphone. Their heart is beating, and everyone else who's watching them, their hearts are beating. And whatever they speak and whatever they say and whatever their opinion is, it's broadcast and it's recorded forever. And I wanted to magnify the extreme emotions that the environment creates, the unusual phenomenon that they all feel by some invisible force. But they feel that it is virtuous to be there, that it is important, it is necessary for them to be a part of this environment, this situation. This environment doesn't do any good, but continually perpetuates negativity and chaos and disagreements and conflict. These people are drawn there like a moth to a flame, to this Colosseum to share their opinion. And then I want to talk about just one person's experience of this environment and their extreme emotions they feel, and how they were always more hesitant than anyone else. And they were always confused and shocked and always felt, well, that's unnecessary and that's unnecessary. And why did they say that? And why do they feel the need to speak? And they shouldn't have said that because they can't assume so many things. There's too many assumptions behind their opinions. And this person felt like, no, I don't want to participate. And I feel like this person would always go to the top of the Colosseum, right at the back, the highest level. And they would often view everything from there. Now, because they were at the top and they were always just a spectator, not a participant, they would feel the breeze on the back of their neck. And then something in them starts to catch their attention. A little blue bird with a tail that wags back and forth. This bird keeps flitting in its view and cutting up the view from the speakers below and the audience below. And one day it lands on their shoulder and they look at it. And for once they really look at it and they're surprised by this beautiful, cute, clever little bird. It flits over the cement walls and flies off into the nature behind. And I feel like this person starts to bring their attention from the drama unfolding in front of them, the opinions shared and the reactions of the audience, from the microphone and the people, to what's being said and done, and they start giving their attention to this little blue bird, and they start looking behind them. Eventually, they realize that the section of the Colosseum wall that they usually sit on is built in such a way that on the external of the Colosseum there is a very long, beautiful, wide staircase built into the cement wall of the Colosseum. And one day, beautiful gust of wind comes into their face, robin pops up on their shoulder and starts jumping slowly down these stairs to show them the way. And they think to themselves a thought, why not just walk away? And as they do, as they follow that one thought, they're allowed to maybe in one sentence say, why not just walk away? And it's filled with a pregnant hope. It's an excitement and it's almost a moment of, well, this is just so obvious. And then they slowly walk away from this place. And their initial fear, I guess I would add, is that they would lose their connection and that they wouldn't be able to keep up to date with the relationships and the opinion and the friendships and their public standing. And they felt that they'd be walking away and that microphone would still be in their face and everyone would be watching them with this question of, what are you going to say? You've never said anything. But when they walk slowly down these steps of the Colosseum wall, and they put their feet on the beautiful sand as they land on the ground, and they walk off into the land around them, and they start exploring this beautiful land, and they find lots of other people like themselves who had walked away. And each person had a bird who was its best friend, a special companion, who would find them by the lakes, by the rivers, and on the mountains, on the beaches, by the shore, and in the valleys, or in the fields of flowers. And slowly but surely, the memory of the Colosseum faded away. So I wanted to share my thoughts with you and this little, I guess, movie script. And that's really my experience of leaving the public forum of Facebook, Instagram, all these different worlds where there's this constant rolling news, constant sharing of opinions and life updates and photos and events and memories and jokes and anything and everything. And walking away, seeing it as a physical structure you go to. How many times are you going to this structure every day, this building of Facebook, of TikTok, of Instagram, of YouTube comments, of blog posts, of any website where there's you finding yourself interacting, or you're finding yourself watching the interactions in the online space? How much of it is educational? How much of it is just useless? How much of it hijacks your thoughts throughout the day and hijacks your emotions? And how much of it do you bring with you? How many of the bricks of that building do you carry with you all day because that person said this, and you watch these people have a disagreement, and you've heard some horrible, sad news? Or how much of it is necessary for you to even be in contact with as a human being? And the people who left the Colosseum are the people who are the relationships you will develop and foster and find now that you've left. And a lot of them will have also left too, or be totally inactive and not attracted to those buildings, these online places. And I know this is going on YouTube, but it's going on YouTube to say, think about how much of the time you spent in these buildings, and think about the people and the relationships who, like you, don't want to be there, and how much more enriching you can be to each other's lives in person, in real life. The people who are in your real life, not the people from your past, but the people who are in your life now, today. How can you enrich each other, help each other, bless each other, care for each other, enjoy life together, and adventure together? So that's what I wanted to share with you today. And if you're thinking of undergoing this journey of leaving your smartphone and having it detached from your hand permanently, this is just something for you to think about. And I hope it helps. Bye.